Well, here we are. Welcome to Ric Drasin Live, and obviously I'm your host, Ric Drasin. This is about nutrition and fitness, and we talk every week about a different subject or a different body part or how to get in shape, how to lose body fat, how to do your cardio. There's so many ways to attack the body, but the biggest thing you have to do to start training is get off the couch and get into the gym. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And even when you reach your 40s and 50s, and I have so many people write to me that want to get in shape later in life because for the first 40 years they did absolutely nothing. Now they got to hit the gym and try to get things working, and it's a little tough. You need motivation, inspiration. You also need a trainer because you can't do it on your own unless you have knowledge of how to train, and you need a good trainer. Which brings me to my guest today. Mark Andrews is one of the best trainers I've ever known. He trains at my gym. He was a fitness model. He was a bodybuilder. He was on the cover of all major magazines. And I'm really proud and happy to have him as my friend. He's a very good friend, and I'm happy to have him here today on the show, Ric Drasin Live. And Mark, thank you for being here, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I want to get into a couple of things, because you had to start with an inspiration point when you started training. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to say, oh, I'm going to just start lifting weights?
For me, I always wanted to figure out, I wanted to understand, how I could look better. I wasn't not saying that I hated my body, but I just wanted to be more comfortable with the way I looked. Sure. And, throughout the years, you see certain, I remember I'd look at a baseball card when I was young of, certain players, and you'd see like their physiques. You're like, wow, that's really inspirational.
Right.
And then, I had friends, or I had a cousin who had a muscle and fitness, and I would go through that, and I would just find myself continuously looking at those pictures, and it was like really inspiring after a while, where it would be like I'd look forward to opening that same magazine and looking at these pictures.
How old were you then?
I think I was about 17.
You know, it's
17.
really funny. I read the same articles. I read the same books, and I'm older than you, but I go way back. I had some magazines from the 40s that a collector gave me. And I remember looking at, there was twins that Joe Weider used, Pierre and Yvonne Brunet from Canada.
Yeah.
And they were identical twins. They had great bodies. The thing is that I would read these articles and I think, God, this is what they do. And of course, Joe Weider would have the workout, and he said, pack 20 pounds of muscle on your body. And so you're going to pack 20 pounds of muscle. To me, I was going down to the market, grabbing 20 pounds of hamburger meat and slap it on my arms and tape it on, and now I got the muscle. He made it sound like you could pack this on in 30 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so you work out, and you don't pack on 30 pounds in 30 days.
It was a catalog for selling muscle.
Exactly. But there was some good points there. I mean, it taught me basic exercises.
Yes.
It didn't say anything about nutrition and diet back in those days, because all it was is eat a lot of protein and a lot of meat, drink a lot of milk, like 3 quarts a day. It kind of bloats you a little bit.
Liver pills.
Oh my God, liver pills. Like, talk about gas. I had more gas than the Iranians. They would follow me around to fill their tank. But the liver pills will do that, They call them like Carter's little farter starters. So when you started training, did you actually join a gym?
My parents bought me like one of those home, weight sets, and then what I did was I attached a pull-up bar to the door, probably like most people.
Oh, sure, I remember those.
And I had like a variation of a push-up machine or whatever, so I would do that, and then it became that I bought a membership at a gym, and then it became where I went every day, and I started to do stuff and pick stuff up and watch stuff. And
what year was that?
I might have been 17 and a half, maybe 18.
So what year was that?
I don't remember what
year that was. The reason I'm saying it, it's in the 80s?
Yeah, it was the beginning
of
the 80s.
That's when the gym started to really form into something.
Yes.
Because back in the 60s when I did, they didn't have much. I mean, they had the YMCA with broken dumbbells and weights, and the weights that you could buy, I never could figure this out. Yeah. Why were they always a 110-pound set? Why not 100? But 110 pounds. Yeah. Okay, I'll take that extra 10 pounds on that set. You can make do with very little if you want to.
Yes.
And it's not complicated.
Well, I mean, today you can buy, stuff, very cheap and make a home gym for very cheap today. And you could even, buy a cardio machine for probably a couple $100 somewhere on the internet. So, I mean, it just becomes very affordable, so the excuses aren't there anymore.
No.
I know when I started, nobody was into this I didn't know people that were into fitness, or I didn't know anybody who wanted to work out. So it was just something that I just wanted to figure out myself, and I was always interested in it, and it felt so good, and I started to see results fairly quick.
Well, you still work with the weights, obviously, because I see you in the gym, but you venture away from that with the rope.
Yeah.
You use the balls, you use these different things. How did you incorporate that into your workouts?
the thing is, I started to open my eyes to, kettlebell training. I started to open my eyes into different variations in what I can do and how I could become an expert into seeing what I like about different things and bringing them into what I do and see if they work or not. And I found them to be very effective for, improving my range of motion, improving my performance of endurance over a long period of time. And just like you would see stuff always that would be interesting to me is you'd always see like these strong men from the circus, and they would lift these incredible dumbbells that are like 150 pounds, and they would do it and they'd be like laughing as they would do that, and that was always interesting to me.
It was like an odd lift.
So so I started to go back and start, I went to certain coaches and I learned some of those techniques. So I incorporate some of that stuff into what I can do. So it's for me, it's like, it tests my strength, it tests my endurance, it tests my mobility, it tests all these different things in different lifts. And it's like, when you start to, work in different positions in your body, you find that you're more effective with all the other stuff that you do.
It all plays
so it
together.
really enhanced what I do.
What about your diet? How do you eat?
My diet, I look at it like this. I look at it two ways. I'm either 100% or I'm just blah, whatever. So when I'm 100%, I really could, I've done this so many times and I really don't cheat. I really have a system of what I do. And what I try to do is I try to eat as many vegetables as I can all the time in every meal. And certain meals are bigger amounts, like my morning meal is going to probably be my biggest meal, or after I work out. And and then what I'm going to do is I just make sure that I have portions at every meal.
All right.
And I don't really watch my carbs. I get really hungry, a lot of the times. So I'm not going to have a huge bowl of rice, but I'll have a yam, or I'll have just different stuff that
You've
that
got to
really
have
works
some of
for
that.
me. Yeah. The carbs don't.
You train people all day.
Yeah. Yes.
Working in the gym all day can drain you.
Yeah.
And then you take this one and that one, and then you got to make time for yourself.
Yes.
How do you motivate yourself to work out after going through this with everybody?
Well, if I wanted to look a certain way, or if I was going to go on vacation or something like that, I think that's a big motivator of how I could really turn it on, and how I could set time aside for if I want to do this for myself. I know that if I work with a bunch of people, I want to maybe go back to the gym later when I'm not doing anything, or before I work with someone.
I've seen you do that.
So I have like a good solid maybe hour and 10 minutes of just focus, undivided strength, agility stuff, something that's really going to make a difference. So I put my time in. I don't like to do it in between people, because it's like I get really sweaty and it doesn't work for me.
This doesn't feel like a complete workout. I feel like you're kind of going in and just doing it half-assed.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to yourself as well. So it takes a little bit of motivation to get yourself going after training 4 or 5 people. Oh, I got to work out now.
But one thing I think is that my workout is really about quality.
Right.
Okay. It's very important to get the things done and you be in the right mindset. It's working out could be an art, and whether it's a dumbbell curl or whether it's a press, there's something where your mind and your body go together where it feels really good. So of course that, but there's also the thing where it's quantity, where it's not one workout where I'm going to get better. It's like a system of I'm going in on a consistent basis, and I'm doing my chest and my back, and a push, a pull, a squat, rotational exercise. So it's also that. So
how do you motivate somebody who comes to you, say they're in their 50s and they have never worked out, and you look at them, they need a lot of work. It's like buying a used car that you got to repaint, build the chassis, get new tires and all that. And so how do you motivate them to get in there? Because it's hard for them.
Yeah.
It's really hard for them to even get into the gym. They're intimidated by everybody.
Yeah.
And then you got to take them under your wing and try to work with them. How do you get them motivated?
Well, you know, everyone has to, I think that fitness is something that it used to be a thing where everyone did, you know, something, where it's like now we say we're too busy, or, you know, we live a life where it's just too many things going on, where we say we don't have enough time for it. But the thing is, you know, we sit in chairs all day long and do things that really deteriorate us as people, and we weren't used to this kind of sitting or in a car all day, where now it's like we really need to start to
I have ghosts.
We really need
I have ghosts in here.
We really need to look at these things, because it's you know, ruining our backs.
Yeah.
You know, it's ruining our longevity of life, to where we really need to start to look at these things. So for what I would say is, a person needs to find something that they like in a gym. I recommend the weight training, because the weight training it's the fastest way for someone to start to build a metabolism.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the thing is, today, when everything is look, you know, or it's, you know, how you feel, when you start to lift the weights and you're moving blood around, you're creating that metabolism where you're starting to burn those calories.
You're also creating a structure,
you know,
underneath of hardened muscle that burns more fat and gives you shape.
Yes.
It's like these fad diets that people buy. I mean, they're out there from major names, not major names, but people that we know. I don't want to mention them. And they go on this low-calorie thing, and they end up losing all this weight, but they still stay fat.
That's the thing.
They don't go to the gym. They just lose the weight.
I just find that the thing is, you want to learn to, you know, treat a gym or an area that you're working at. You want to treat it like a temple or a place of worship, where you when you go there, it's about you doing what you need to do, and that's an important factor into you know, finding your place in all this.
We also see many that go there for the social hour.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, they go there because they have no life.
Yes.
And they're there all day.
Yeah.
And they make no progress because they're really not motivated to train.
I look at it's their performance stage.
Yeah, pretty much.
They live a sad life, but yet when they come to the gym, they look in the mirror and they feel alive.
Right.
So
I have one more question, because this is really hard to do. I've done it and you've done it. How did you manage to get on the covers of magazines for Joe Weider? Because it's not an easy thing to do.
It was many different things. You know, I had many people say, you know, at the time, you know, you look so good. Why don't you do something like this? And at first I was hesitant. I had tried, I had done, you know, previous shoots, and they were in, I think they got in a few men's exercise magazines. So I think what happened was someone kept on pushing me about taking more pictures. So the pictures came out really good.
Yeah.
And then I think that there was an art director who came in in Golds, and we started to talk, and one thing led to another. You know, I went to their office, I delivered some pictures, and then they set me up for a shoot. The shoot went really, really well. I think it was with Robert Reef, a photographer. It went really well. So then it came to let's hire you again, and then from there it was, you know, let's book you for, you know, a cover.
Sure.
And then from those shoots, I saw about 10 mock-ups of different covers. So it was just interesting how it all worked.
It's good because too, when you go to train somebody, you can validate that. Look, I was in shape. I'm in the magazine, and people see that and say, well, that's what I want to look at. I would never hire a trainer who's not in shape. Yeah. And there's so many who aren't in shape.
Well, you know, it depends. Some trainers are really knowledgeable today, and they just don't know. They don't work with that aspect of, you know, their body, but they're very good and very technical in lifting skills that you know, sometimes we need.
But you don't know that. You go by a visual. You look at somebody and say, wow, I want to look like that guy. How do you train? You know, and then they'll come to you.
No, I agree, but you know, I've seen a couple instances where I've been around very articulate, very smart people who know a lot about different lifting techniques, and you know, you learn a lot, and you learn different cues that they use that are worth its price in gold, where you really learn a lot around them, where you know, they're not in shape at all, but on a technical level they're very, very good.
It's like, do what I do. I do as I say, not as I do.
Yes. So it's
all right. If you had to give a tip out there for people 40, 50 years old and they want to get in shape, what would you tell them to do? What's the first thing you would tell them to do?
Get off your ass.
Yeah.
Go to a park, go to a gym, join a gym. You know, I think that the smartest thing for me to say is if you could afford it, or invest in a trainer. A trainer has so much knowledge that could benefit you. For my 20 years, I could probably show you in just a couple workouts things that you will keep in your life or in your fitness program for a long time, that could really show you a beginning path to that
so the
place that you want to go.
The biggest tip is get started.
Yes.
Once you get started, you keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, now people want to contact you. Where can we find you?
Okay, I have a website, markandrews.net, MARKANDREWS.net.
Okay.
I love Instagram. That's my new thing, and I'm Mr. Mark Andrews.
As you should be.
Yes, and I have a Twitter, and it's Fit Training 101, and I'd like to come out with a whole series of stuff under the Fit Training 101 moniker. And I have a Facebook, and I think it's Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Mark Andrews 1, I think.
And they can reach you through there?
Yes.
And they can find you at Gold's Gym in North Hollywood as well?
Yes.
Because you're there all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This has been really great and very informative, and I've got a lot from listening to you, and I see your clients making results all the time.
Good.
I know you're working their asses off, and
Good.
they got to do their homework too.
Yes.
And that's the hardest part.
Good.
So I also want to bring up my little bears, if you would, Vincent. This bear right here, I have an assortment of bears and gorillas that are 6 feet tall, and they're good for Valentine's Day for your girlfriend or whoever you want to give one to. They come in different sizes, different shapes, different colors, and you get t-shirts designed with whatever you want to put on it. They're at bigplush.com, and you can tell them that Rick sent you, and it also comes, if you use my name, a 6-foot rose that goes with the bear or the gorilla. I love the gorilla because it reminds me of the World Gym Gorilla. But it's bigplush.com, and tell them Rick sent you, and you only have about a few days left before Valentine's, because then after that it's going to go into birthdays and other holidays that I'll make up on my own. So anyway, bigplush.com for the bear or the gorilla of your choice. It's like you can sleep with the thing and watch TV, lay on it on the floor. It's like a big pillow. I also have a book called Bodybuilding for Dumbbells. And I wrote this book a while back. It simplifies the workouts that we did back in the 70s when everybody was in good shape and they were eating right, not taking drugs, just training hard and getting good bodies. It's on the internet at ricdrasin.com. It's only a $10 download. It's a download book. You don't even have to order it and have it delivered. You can have it instantly. So go to ricdrasin.com or rickscorner.com and download the book Bodybuilding for Dumbbells. And that's pretty much it for today.
Good.
Like I said, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I'll see you tomorrow in the gym.
Yes, of course.
And thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned next Friday, because next Friday I will also be here. I believe that's the 14th, right? I believe it is. It's Valentine's Day. And so I will be here with a big heart on. Don't misconstrue what I just said, but I will be here from 12:30 to 1 for Ric Drasin Live, and I'll give you some more facts on what to do on that Valentine's Day to keep your Valentine's active and sexually active and have a great time and a good dinner. Thank you, and watch again next week. Hi, I'm Ric Drasin. For tips on health and nutrition and fitness and bodybuilding and wrestling and all the stuff you want to know, subscribe to me on emPOWERme.tv. I'm on every Friday at 12:30 p.m. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And stay healthy.